How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Crafting Cars. Hey, Afton, you know what happened today?
What's that?
We hit 1,000 subscribers.
What? That's what I'm talking. I can't control myself. Oh. Woo!
Alright guys, so here we are at Afton's garage. Obviously, you can see the Civic here. What we're going to try to do today is bleed the coolant system on this car, and we're going to be using this new tool that I got. It's something pretty snazzy. And here it is. It's called the airlift system. We're going to give a quick walkthrough of it all. This is the case that it comes in, very nice. Everything's brass. That's the piece for the Venturi. This is what actually creates the vacuum in your cooling system. You can see the quick connect for the airline there, and then this is the pickup. This is the end that you actually stick into the bucket of coolant that you got, and once the vacuum is created in your coolant system, you drop this into the coolant bucket, open the valve, and it sucks all the coolant right up, fills the system tippy top. Alright, now we can move on to the gauge. Here, the instructions say that you want between 25 and like 30 inches of vacuum. So as I'm pointing out there, like I said, everything's brass, quick connects, nice knurled finishes, knobs, and whatnot. This is the actual sealing portion of the whole device. It's got that nice knurled knob that you tighten down and it pushes out that rubber piece. It also comes with 4 different sized adapters that all slide onto this adapter piece, as I'm going to show you here. As you can see, different sized for whatever coolant fill port you have there. You can stick it right on in there, tighten it up, create a good airtight vacuum seal. And this is for those really small ones. More on this one in a bit. Okay, now we're in the engine bay. I'm following the 2 coolant hoses that go to the radiator. This is a good way to find where your thermostat is, your filler neck housing, which is right here in this case. Now Afton has a nice aftermarket one. It creates a high point in the entire coolant system, which makes our job a lot easier. So now for this process, I'm going through, I'm just trying to find one that'll actually fit into that coolant neck and create a good vacuum seal. One thing that you do want to note is that wherever your radiator cap is, usually there is a small pinhole, and that is what connects to the overflow, your coolant overflow tank. And you want to make darn sure that that is plugged. In this instance, as you can see, that cone fill adapter that I just put on the device there, that one actually goes down inside the tube and completely bypasses the coolant overflow, so I don't even need to worry about plugging that up or anything. Here I'm just making a really good seal. It's a really soft rubber, and I was a little concerned about losing the vacuum seal, but with how soft the rubber was, I pressed it down in there and it created a really good seal, and I didn't even need to hold it after the fact, but just to be safe, I was. So here I am grabbing that Venturi brass piece, and I put that onto the quick connect, and then you connect a air compressor to the other side, and I was expecting it to be extremely loud as well, just pretty much an air compressor blowing air straight through, but it wasn't. It was actually much quieter than I expected. And if you look at that coolant hose just underneath that air fitting, you can see it start to suck down and collapse on itself. Now Afton has some nice braided AN line coolant hoses for the radiator, so those don't collapse, but all the other coolant hoses in the entire system did collapse. As soon as we reached that proper inches of vacuum, we disconnected the air line. And here, Afton is grabbing that pickup hose that we stick down into the bucket of coolant. don't forget to have your heater on full blast hot for this entire process. That'll keep the heater core open and allow you to bleed all that as well. And here we go. You can't see him, but Afton is down below with the bucket of coolant. There you go. Just opened up the valve and you can see the nice blue stream. And if you keep an eye on that black coolant hose just underneath the throttle body, you can watch that. It's all collapsed now, and then it'll slowly start to fill up as it fills with coolant. And again, Afton is down below with the bucket, pouring more coolant into the bucket so that we don't suck up any air with this. It's a really cool system. It's really neat to see it work, and you hear all sorts of noises as the whole system fills up from the bottom up. It's really neat. We're checking for leaks the entire time. Haven't seen any yet, and we won't see any in this whole process, which is cool. It's always nice when you don't get any coolant leaks, because it means that the person putting it all together did a real good, thorough job tightening everything down. And there you can see the air pocket at the top of the line. That means that it's all done. It's as full as she's going to get. She returned to atmospheric pressure. And now as I take the tool out here, there's coolant pretty much to the top of that coolant neck, and we just give her a splash top up. But other than that, the whole bleeding process is done. Alright, just like that, it looks like we're all done. We aren't having any other bubbles come out. We won't know for sure how good of a bleed it did until the engine is running. We've been squeezing the coolant hoses, making sure, and there's no air bubbles coming out. The level's rising and going right back to where she was. So, yeah, the instructions do state that you might need to top it off, worst case scenario, once it does warm up. But they said that we should be done. And if that works, and if that's all that it was, I don't know about you, but
that's
that is
way easier than fighting it on your first start.
Yeah, that, yeah, let's put the cap back on.
That's $70 you've ever spent.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see how it works. Alrighty, after that whole little adventure over at Afton's house in the Civic, we're back over to my house working on the RX7. Going to be hopefully finishing the carpet. I shouldn't say hopefully, we do finish the carpet on the inside. So here we're measuring out the Velcro. Instead of using the factory plastic pieces that staple to the carpet and then clip onto the frame of the door sill there, the new carpet, unfortunately, it wasn't enough and it wasn't firm enough to allow us to actually staple onto it. So we're using the double side Velcro. And this is a really good example here. You'll be able to see just how nice of a fit and finish it is with the Velcro. So we stick that, we clean off all the dust and everything from the door sill. Make sure that that's a nice clean finish, because you want the Velcro to stick and last as long as possible. And here we start at the back side, start tucking that up and away, and we bring it right up to the door sill. And look at that finish. Look at how good that looks. And now, because the carpet is officially on where it's going to be, we can finally stick on this door sill plate. Now we are onto the driver's side. I'm going to pull the seat back out so we can finally finish this side up as well. And the process on this side is going to be pretty much exactly the same. You cut off a strip of the double side Velcro to the length that you want and that you need. There you saw Afton and I attaching it all. And now this door sill plate can go back on. I also grabbed the kick panels off of the 10th anniversary RX7, so we installed those on both sides That's what I'm putting in right here. Alright guys, all in all, super happy with how the carpet turned out. Couldn't thank Afton enough. It turned out fantastic. Now that it's in though, the next thing we gotta tackle is the wiring. We gotta clean all of this up. None of this needs to be here. And then we can finally start piecing the interior back together. I did call Holly, contact them. Found out that I was wasting my time waiting for them to ship me the part that I was waiting on, so I ended up getting it through Summit. So that should be here in the next 2 days. And then the interior can finally get put back together. With all that being said though, if you stuck around this far, could not thank you guys enough for 1,000 subs. That is huge. Huge. It's huge. So thank you all very, very much for that. We got a bunch of big moves coming because of it. So stay tuned, you aren't going to want to miss anything. If you haven't already, subscribe, leave a like if you liked what you saw. If you have any questions, as always, leave them down below. Thanks again guys. Bye-bye.